started. Here we go. Okay, we are back in session. Next item, we have under final actions. Is that what we're under, final actions? We have Counselor Gibson, R-147.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm moving R-147, accepting the report and recommendations from the Center for Community Progress and creating a vacant, abandoned, substandard properties working group and making an appropriation of $25,000. I'm going to move a do pass.
There's a motion and a second for a due pass of R-147. We have someone signed up to speak, Mr. Tad Naminsky.
Yes.
Thank you. My name is Ted Nemiski. Well, double standard. I'm not going to be talking at this time. Next city council meeting. Now, ordinance. No, that is resolution 147.
That's correct,
It is
Mr.
has to
Naminsky.
do with already property for future, like cars, which is DWI cars. Well, here is also a resolution stating and speak about property owner. That brings me to bankruptcies and et cetera, people go through and then even become homeless. Here we have also city council, who is banking lawyer and also bankruptcy lawyer. He's very familiar of that. He's smiling at me now. So now this has to do with vacant substandard properties. Be resolved by the council and government body of Albuquerque. In bold, that is contract. Bold print. Working group shall be made. Who is this group? Well, look at that. How interesting. City planning department, city staff, property, and so on, all bureaucrats, including one city staff, city council services, city legal department. How interesting. For who they gonna work?
Thank you, Mr. Naminsky. So we are actually back on our R-147. Any discussion from counselors? Counselor Gibson?
Thank you, Madam President. I would just like to urge your support on this. We've been working on this for, it seems like about 20 years now. I think it's probably closer to 2 years. But this last initiative that we've undergone, working with the Community for Community Progress, has been very rewarding. As I mentioned before, the analysis that they did for us is available on the D7 website. It's also maybe in, I don't remember. Is it in our bill books? Okay. So I invite you to take a look at it, skim through it. They did a really comprehensive job and came up with some very good recommendations. They broke it down into short-term and long-term, and so not only are we accepting that with this resolution, but we're going to put together a working group to look at the recommendations and see how we can move forward with them. Land banking just happens to be one of the possibilities. So I urge your support. Thank you.
Counselor Davis.
Really quickly, Madam President, just as a matter of courtesy, Councilor Gibson, I just want to acknowledge and say thank you to you on this and congratulations for getting it this far. You've made this a personal project for a number of years now. We're all going to benefit in the city from it, but it's been really interesting to watch this grow from a sort of a list of vacant properties, working with the planning department and the old administration to coming up with this. And when you really dig into this report, what I love is it tells us that we have the legal mechanisms to get this started and that we have already been doing those pieces to get going. And I have to say, you know, I get questions in my neighborhood associations every week about a vacant property. And I'm going to be very excited to go back and tell them that you've been leading this process and the city has a new initiative to start helping people avoid this foreclosure and to rehab these properties and give them to lawful owners. We've been looking for that solution a long time. And I just want to say congratulations for all the work you put into it. It's a good project.
Counselor, if there's no other questions, Counselor Gibson to close.
Thank you, and I just wanted to thank you for that, Counselor Davis. I think that this is really an idea that just sort of, you know, reached its I don't know what the phrase is I'm looking for, but it just hit its time for us to really start looking at it. So we not only have the ADAPT program that's going to take care of a big piece of this, but we're starting to foreclose on doing lien foreclosures, which is, I mean, immediately we saw results with that. So anyway, thank you for that. And so many people really worked on this. Nicole Taylor has done an awesome job on this. So again, I urge your support.
Thank you, Counselor Gibson. There's a motion and a second on the floor for a due pass of R-147. All those in favor say yes. Yes. Opposed, no. Motion passes. We are now on R-149, approving and adopting the 2019 Action Plan and Program Investment Summary for the expenditure of Community Development Block Grant Home Investment Partnerships Programs and Emergency Solutions Grant Funds, providing an appropriation to the Department of Family and Community Services for 2019 U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development entitlement funds. I move a due pass. Second. There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? No one signed up to speak. So all those in favor of R-149 say yes. Yes. Opposed, no. Motion passes. We are now on item 15, other business. This is item A, Counselor Benton, Davis, and Winter. And I don't know if they have it in their script that we have to defer it to the next meeting. So are we? Okay.
Madam President, I'm not going to move this item tonight. There's a chance that we still want to move it at the next meeting, but we're going to let this one ride tonight. Thank you.
So I have a list of all these items that are actually, so I have it scripted out. Should I just go through it unless any of the counselors want to have
Madam
those
President?
theirs heard?
I promise not to cancel the next meeting. No, I don't know what, the other ones, like, I don't, like Councilor Winter's bill, I don't think we really need to rush on these. I think Councilor Benton's had a time issue he's concerned about, but the others might not.
Well, we'll go through them. So Counselor Benton.
Yeah, just to be clear, the two of these do have to do with the election. The concern would be, even if they were to pass out of the committee, there'd have to be, as I understand it, we'd be up against the clock on without immediate action out of committee. So that's part of the thinking here. But I am going to move one of these, but not the other. So item A is not going to be moved.
So we just go with what I have here.
Yes, Madam Chair, if you just proceed with the script and then allow the sponsors to withdraw those motions as they please. This list was based on the wishes of the sponsors at the time I was trying to rearrange this legislation. So if you could go through the script and we can not move those that are not needed.
Okay. So 054, amending the municipal elections ordinance to implement ranked choice voting. Is there a motion to pull it out of finance and government? What, am I messing up here?
No.
Just no action, so we're not doing anything with them. Okay. So, B, 060, Counselor Winter.
Thank you, Madam President. And this is talking about street racing and some things that we're trying to do. And it's a huge problem, and I'm sure it's a huge problem in some of your all's district as well as mine. And this is going to need to be, I think it's going to be some great discussion. So I'd like to go ahead, I'd like to pull it out and put it on the June 3rd so we can hear it, and then we can always defer it if we need to defer it after that, because I just think 9 counselors discussing it, maybe we can come up with ideas. And when, with Mr. Melendres, and when we were looking at this, I mean, there's just so many issues, and we're trying to find some different ways to combat this issue, and it affects us all. And if I chase them out of my district, then they go to another district, and it just keeps going back and forth. And so this is something that we came up with, but it's also something that I think that we can all kind of discuss, and maybe we can come up with a plan, because it is a very big quality of life issue for all of our constituents.
I would, there's a motion and a second, and I would agree with you, Counselor Winter. It's just one of those things that it just moves from place to place if we don't address it. And, you know, I think we need to encourage all these people to become cruisers. So,
Madam President,
Counselor,
if I
Counselor
could,
Benton.
just briefly, Madam President, I very much support the intent of this bill. It is a quality of life issue, and it's been accelerating somehow, no pun intended. It has been gotten noticeable. I live near Central. It's a big place for cruising, which is cool and no problem whatsoever, and it's a big place for racing, which is really, really detrimental to the quality of the life in the neighborhood. And we got to do something about it. We got to get our heads together. We know that we're rebuilding the police department, and you know, eventually we're going to have a full complement of traffic enforcement. And I know that they're trying to enforce traffic now, but we've got to put our heads together and come up with means to tackle this that don't necessarily involve officers standing around with a radar gun, or trying to, even worse, trying to chase down some of these people, which is extremely dangerous for everyone involved. So I do support this, and I think it merits discussion by the full council.
Thank you. And Madam President, Madam CAO, I think that there's a lot of police officers that have some good expertise in street racing, and I hope that maybe we can get some of those folks together to also give some ideas on how we can address this issue.
Council President Pena, Councilor Winter, we agree. I know the commander was here earlier and has been talking to you in this bill, so we support these efforts. Thank you.
So there's a motion, a second, to pull 060 out of Finance and Government Committee and place it on the June 3rd? Council agenda for final action. All those in favor say yes. Yes. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Councilor Benton, P2.
Thank you, Madam President. P19-2 is adopting a proposition to be submitted to the voters at the November 5th election, proposing to amend Article 4, Sections 1, 2, and 3 of the Albuquerque City Charter concerning council districts. This is a proposal to have the voters consider expanding the council districts to 11. And it's a long story, councilors, but this goes back to the redistricting 9 years ago, 8 years ago. In a correct attempt to provide additional representation and proper representation to the west side, 2 very distinct council districts were combined with communities of interest that it really raised questions as to equity for those communities of interest within the former 2 districts that were combined. In thinking about this over the years and then representing the new district compared to the old one, to me it's clear that this is something that we ought to at least debate, and that we ought to at least consider putting before the voters for them to debate and discuss. I know it's a big move. We've cited a lot of statistics. Back at the time of the original city council, we were a city of 250,000 people. The urban central district is problematic. I'm just going to say it. I'm happy to represent it, and I do my very best to represent it, and I think I do a good job, but that doesn't mean that it's an easy task. It is a very needy district. It contains most of the pockets of poverty, almost all of the pocket of poverty in the city, and also many of the redevelopment areas, some of the oldest infrastructure in the city, and I think that's worthy of discussion by the full council. If we were on a different track and we had the time, I think it'd be fine for this to go to committee, but I would like to get this to the full council, and I urge your support for making that, what would it be, a suspension of the rules, or no? Just a motion to pull from committee, and it does require 6 votes. 5, excuse me, pardon me.
Counselor Harris.
And I'd support this motion, but I think because of the November election, I think we do have time. And what is the deadline now for getting, because it used to be we'd have to have it on the August 1st before, to get it on the October, the first meeting in August for October, so I think it's the first meeting in September now?
Council President Pena, Councilor Harris, that would be August 28th, so I
August-
think your second meeting in August would be the last.
Second meeting in August, so, and we still have to have if a charter,
We'd have to have 2 hearings.
2 hearings, so it'd have to come out. So we'd have to have a hearing in August, the first meeting in August, the second meeting in August, right? Or
President Pena, Councilor Harris, it probably should be the first meeting in August due to
Oh,
the
really?
publication requirements and some other requirements within the ordinance.
wow. Okay.
That was my, pardon
Yeah.
me, if I could, just.
Sure.
That was my calculation on this, and the reason why I thought we needed to go ahead and get it before the full council for our next meeting.
Okay.
Looks like our council, it looks
Yep.
like our council staff wanted to say something. Did you want to add anything? No? No one? Okay. we're-
Okay, I thought we had plenty of time, because I have a proposition in finance also, that's why I was going to leave it there. But maybe prepare a script, because we can maybe suspend the rules with 6 next time, maybe, right? Well, we'll talk about that between now and the next meeting.
So any other discussion? Seeing none, Counselor Benton.
Urge your support.
So, was there a second? Oh, now there is. There's a motion and a second for, to pull P2 out of Finance and Government Committee and place it on the June 3rd council agenda for final action. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no? No.
Madam President, I just want to clarify that it won't be for final action on the 3rd because it will require 2 hearings. So on the 3rd, you'll need to defer it to the 17th.
Okay. This script says that, so. Yes, there's 2 no votes. We are now on R142. This is Pena, Davis, and Sanchez. Counselor Davis, you want to just take it on? You want me to do it?
Would you go ahead, Madam, since you have the script?
Okay, R142, amending the adopted capital implementation program of the city of Albuquerque by approving new projects supplementing current appropriations and changing the scope of existing projects. I move to pull R142 out of the Finance and Government Operations Committee and place it on the June 3rd council agenda for final action. There's a motion and a second for final action. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say yes. Yes. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Next is R144, approving and authorizing a grant to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for 2019 Continuum of Care and providing an appropriation to the Department of Family and Community Services beginning fiscal year 2019. I move to pull R144 out of the Finance and Government Operations Committee and place it on the June 3rd council agenda for final action. There's a motion and a second. All those in favor, any discussion? No? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. There being no further business, this meeting is adjourned.